Alright, hey guys, I hope you guys like this video. I have been for the last 6 or 7 years kind of been hiding in the closet with this vision and this story that I'm trying to get out there. And now I think it's a pinnacle moment to start putting that out there and sharing that with you all. A vision that people can get excited about. And this goes into, there's a science fiction story, but there's also a movement behind it that has more implications now in history more than ever. And it makes more sense. It's a little outside the box, but it's time, it's time to start thinking in a new direction, people. Um, and this goes back to, well, okay, I have a problem with staying on point. But my vision and my story involves utilizing the artists, the musicians, the entrepreneurs, the construction workers, the designers, all those people who have the brain capacity to create, to solve problems, to get together instead of it takes a lot. I think it takes a lot more energy to create and solve problems than it does to easily just instigate and destroy. It takes a lot more energy to create than to destroy, and that's kind of the main premise of the story. And this goes a little into what's going on now, but people seem a little too obsessed with the destruction and the chaos and all the stories going out there. But if we keep leading in that direction and getting addicted to the stories of the negative without even considering the positive and considering a movement that could potentially create a movie, it could create a movement, it could get exponentially amount of spawning creativity across the country using entertainment design, using venues and places that draw people, bring thousands and thousands of jobs, like more jobs than even our president could even consider being a possibility, utilizing new places that draw people, working on benevolence, and it also puts money back into the community. And the way the places are structured, and the sliding scale restaurants and all this other stuff. If I pique your curiosity, that's a good thing. Pass it on because I need to find people in the industry. Um, I don't have everything quite together, but I'm trying to put the video out there. If you guys know anybody in the entertainment industry or even in the movie business, guys, like even in, and I need a lot of help here. But this is just me starting to get that out there. Um, but it goes down to a structure for any business, but making it a beautiful, beautiful place using the architecture, using the design that draws people so that we can relish in a beautiful place, a beautiful restaurant, but we don't have to pay too much money for it. We don't have to be able to afford to live a nice life or feel like we're in a good environment or a good atmosphere. And it brings back to society the way the sliding scale menu and the way the people are in there and the tax breaks for using charitable foundations and everything. It's a little different than anybody out there has ever said. But again, it goes into parks and recreation. It goes into entertainment venues. It goes into competitions that lead people to spark creativity and challenges to get people thinking in a positive direction in the music industry, in the creative industry, solving problems, making challenges with incentive. We don't have incentive for vision right now, and this is putting a vision out there to have incentive to reward ourselves for coming up with ideas, not linear thinking. Linear thinking has got to go, and that is a problem. We're going to look back in history. I know people are going to say, Chad, you're in La La Land. So let's go in this other direction. Let's keep thinking all the worst is going to happen. Let's just, keep going in that direction. Keep going in that direction. Be addicted to that. Let's just do that instead of, and right now, here's the thing: is all of Hollywood, all of the artists, everybody, all the creative people, basically have been pushed out of the presidency. The art culture is completely outside of politics now, and that's a good thing. Because there are very few laws about culture and expression when it comes down to that. And if you guys can catch on to what I'm trying to say, um, it could be amazing. Everything that politicians cannot do, we do as a society, and that includes Republican man. That includes strong Republicans. We need strong Republicans, Democrats, all religion. It's creation, guys. Like, why are we so subjugated to the sensationalism of destructive and terrorism when we're not even starting to start readjusting ourselves to the vision and preventative methods and problem solving? Um, I guarantee you could take like 100 creative minds and bring it to the White House, and it would solve some of these problems and the issues throughout society when it comes down to, I have to make more videos, but when it comes to so many of the political issues, the creative mind and the brainstorming has those solutions, guys. It's just we don't have any artists. We don't have any. When things are going in another direction and the majority of people don't trust politicians and politics, and we don't understand that the artistic mind is not even present in politics, I think we gotta start readjusting how we think of that. I mean, many movies have said, have that theory where you get the brightest artists, the brightest scientists, the brightest philanthropists together, and to see what they can do and what they can build and bring that vision to people. And it's never actually been done. That's never actually been like a vision, like bam, guys, do you want this? Do you want to be part of this? We're gonna start breaking ground here, here, and here across the nation, spawning new places for people to flock to if they want to start living their dreams. And that's kind of what this, both the movie and the story. I mean, there's a science fiction movie that I started writing, but then interestingly enough, I made a wish. There's coincidences and coincidences that goes beyond spirituality. But I made a wish that I wish somebody could see everything about me, everything inside of me. And be careful what you wish for, guys, because that happened to me, and I was blessed, but it was a nightmare. It was like, you guys have no idea what Chad went through. The guys that you know as Chad should not have been put through anything like that, but I embraced it. I mean, there's the lightness in the dark, but even the darkest part of me is gleaming with light. I mean, it's crazy. Like, even the actual story that I'm kind of scared to tell you people, but I would love to tell you people, also has that enlightenment of it. And then you have and it goes across the whole fraction. Like, I got angels on my sides, you know, and I've faced not only my demons, but the demons of some pretty wacky characters out there. And dark people tend to get drawn to people that are a little more on the light side, because it's in my mind that it's their desire to want to heal something inside of them in that darkness. And I think that's happened a lot in my life, but that's okay. You know, maybe that's just my life and my life's purpose, but that's okay. But at the same time, as putting myself up there and having that courage and bravery to tell my story and to also get people energized, re-energized about something positive. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not going to sit around anymore. I don't want to sit around anymore without telling my story and getting it out there. So just, I mean, it was divine intervention, guys. Like, I even had a psychology told me, man, I don't know what happened. I don't know what that was and what happened, but they're gonna label it divine. One of them labeled it divine intervention. But if you get any curiosity, just ask questions. Please ask questions as to what I should touch upon, and I'll kind of go from there. I'll let you guys kind of lead me in the direction. But the story, like I was gonna say, the story that I started writing in the beginning was about a DJ who is spinning. You know, he's spinning, and he just had these waves of love that just somehow just went out into space. And this queen on another planet, it was a dying planet, on the verge of destruction, and she was in meditation, and she just woke up. I was like, what was that, and where did it come from? So she sent like a reptilian alien down to kind of watch to see where this came from. Not intercept, but watch this DJ to see what he was doing and how he managed to come up with this energy. And it was a love story. It's supposed to be a love story between this not doppelganger, a morph. What do you call him? Oh, I don't know the name of it, but somebody who morphs, like, because they would cross paths, but he'd be a different person, so he never knew that it was that person that he's crossing paths with. But then also got into the FBI following the two of them, and then also got into a presidency, and it kind of evolved, and now it's kind of actually coming down to crossing paths with reality. Like, you guys have no idea how crazy my life has been since I started writing this story and the characters I've come across. Holy shit, guys. Holy bejesus. But I would love to share my story with you guys, and that's where I'm starting. So again, I'm going to start putting my vision out there. I got to be cautious what I say, but I'm not afraid to say anything. So just please ask me any questions. I'm crazy. I'm a crazy guy. Anybody that knows me knows Chad and his artwork and everything is crazy, but in a good way, in a cool way, I think. And I haven't made a career on that yet, in the professionalism and all that. I'm struggling in life just like everybody else out there, but maybe there's a small chance for the underdog like me to get my story out there and maybe create something that helps many people. I just want to get the vision out there that helps so many of us. And I'm a quiet dude, so this is kind of like the energy you guys aren't used to hearing or seeing in me. And sometimes people are like, "Oh, you got to come back to ground level," but now is not the time. Now is not the time because I see the opposite happening. Is this oblivious nightmare with what we're going in, the direction we're going in. So to just say, to see this nightmare ahead of us and not say, okay, maybe we should revisit a dream. And that's a thing. I could touch on this real quick in this video. But what this comes down to, dreams are amazing things. And every time I go to bed, I don't know if any of you guys experience this too, please let me know. But every time I go to sleep, I go to this place when I dream that is, I should have said this in the beginning, it's a place where there are people hustling and bustling, they're building, they are traveling. It's like a migration, a mass migration of people working on places like this, like these venues, and we're meeting people, and the endangerment is absent. So my story and even this movement that I'm thinking of is what happened. That's the problem I have to solve, is what happened in history that made this possible. And I think there's something that could be possible from that. And it also comes down to meeting people in your dreams, crossing paths with people in your dreams, and you wonder, man, did you see me, like, and even meeting celebrities. I've met quite a few celebrities, like, and when I've approached them, it's just like I'm a friend. Like, there's no starstruck manner. It's just talking to them like human beings, talking to them on a level that I feel they would love to hear from a person. Not worshiping the stars or whatever, just having candid conversations. And I could go, it's just interesting. And then, or you dream about somebody, and then a day later you see them and you haven't seen them in forever. And coincidences and dreaming things before they happen, that's a crazy thing. I've experienced that. I hope many of you have. If you haven't, leave yourself open to that, because I think our dreams tell a lot about ourselves. So I guess I'm going to stop there, but I'm going to expand on what I see as a vision, and what I see is possibility for everybody, because it allows us to start living our dreams, even if it's the smallest thing. Even if you want to do like knitting or baking and open your own shop and everything, it's difficult now because of bureaucracy and everything like that. But I spent the last 6 years kind of using the creative mind to develop a new way of approaching and recycling and kind of bypassing, so not bypassing, but expanding on what works. And making sure that it works, because we are polling the audience. We are voting on what works. It's a completely non-political voting system for culture. And I think that's the key point of it, because there's no laws set up for that, which is interesting. So if any of you guys have anything to say, just please hit me up. If you have any connections, just let me know. But this is where it starts. I'm not going to sit around and wait until I have completed this vision to put it out there, because I don't have time. I don't think a lot of us have time to wallow in the pity of the darkness, and that's what I'm trying to do. So much love, guys. All right, peace.